All right, what up, what up, what up? It is episode two, numero dos of the podcast, and we still don't have a name for it. I mean, Sith Sanger is the name of it's the name, y'all know that, but we can't quite put it together of what we want to do and where we want with the name itself. So we're just gonna stick with what we got right now, and y'all know there's a learning curve. So with time, things will be getting better, and we'll be able to see. And what I like about it, what I like about this, it is that I like to wing it. I always like if I write something down to follow a script, I never follow it. So I've learned to just give myself bullet points of what we're gonna do and just wing it. And the thing is, I get to see how much better I got because I know over time, with time, if I keep consistently doing this, I'm gonna consistently get better at it. And I wanted to just touch on topics, right? So I did say we're gonna split this in what I've learned is not bookmarks. I thought it was called bookmarks, but it's chapters. Chapters on what to expect from this podcast. So let's say you're just watching this and you just think, oh, I don't want to watch the whole 30, 40 minutes. And that's fine. You'll know at least what the topics will be. So then if you see it, you're like, oh shoot, he's gonna talk about Funko Pops. He's gonna talk about sports. He's gonna talk about action figures. What's coming. And because we do record these on Wednesdays, one thing that's gonna stay consistent is to talk about upcoming comic books and what we're looking to get, and not just go. We're not gonna go over everything we want to get and pick up, but what we're most excited about and why we're excited about it without any spoilers. So on TikTok, I usually post like what I got, like my haul. And on here, I'm gonna be posting like a preview of that haul. So if you're watching this, it's already Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Wednesday, and I already got the comics. If you want to see the comics that I ended up getting, because sometimes I don't get the ones that I talk about because at least that cover itself. So without further ado, before we waste your time, today's topics we're gonna talk, and I'm gonna try to stick to my bullet points. So the topics for today are gonna be we're gonna talk about sports. Fly Eagles Fly, baby, let's go. We're gonna talk sports. We're gonna talk about now. I am not collecting Funko Pops right now like that. Like I'm sticking to my wish list. So I am gonna talk about what's new. Um, but today we're just gonna stick around. We're gonna stick with sports. We're gonna kick it off with comic books. We're gonna go. That's what we're gonna do. I think I can do all 30 minutes of right now just comic book sports, and who knows if I can throw in the Funko Pop stuff, I'll throw it in. I was running out of time, so I didn't get together a list of the Funko Pops that are coming out, but I am gonna talk about it. So I am gonna break it down in chapters. So remind me of that as we go. And so before we get to it, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone, every single person who comes in and just kicks it with your boy, everyone who subscribes, likes, and hits that notification bell to get updates on upcoming videos that you're going to be getting, like these podcast videos. So without further ado, let's start the second episode of this podcast. Let's go. All right, so I didn't click the button. See, learning curves. I didn't click the button. So we're gonna kick it off, and I am gonna put up here on. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put on my screen. There we go. We're gonna make it smaller, cause you know what? We can edit this. We can adjust this later on. So, without further ado, without further ado, we got Comic Book Wednesday. It is November 20th, 2024. We're gonna start off with a banger, like with right off the jump with the heat. I am gonna talk about every single one and why am I excited about it. To kick it off, we're gonna start off with Batman and Robin, year one, issue number 2. Issue number 2, I enjoyed issue number 1. Anything Batman and Robin, especially Dick Grayson Robin, I am pumped up for it every single time. And this is the cover that I want to go for. Now, am I going to get it? You'll see when I make the video on TikTok. Next up, it is Oh Man, Batman Full Moon. Now, if you were in my TikTok, you saw that I made a video about this. The first cover was a glow in the dark cover. I don't know if they do make another glow in the dark. They might be doing that because the price of this is $6.99. This might be a glow in the dark cover. This is the cover that I want. I don't see much of where it will glow. Yeah, at the same time, I do see it as I'm talking about it. But Batman Full Moon, first issue, pretty good. I love the concept of, because this came out close to Halloween. I'm like, man, I'm just waiting for that next Halloween, that last Halloween of Batman. We're on issue 2, going on to 3, and this one looks like it's gonna be a short series, 2 of 4, and there doesn't look like there's no tie-ins to it. Next, moving on. What I've been loving, it is Daredevil. Daredevil. How did I start with Daredevil? Why did I start with Daredevil? Out of nowhere. It didn't really start out of nowhere. I've always been a fan, not that big of a fan, but he went from being in my top 10 and to the bottom of my top 10 list of favorite heroes to being in my top 5 because of Born Again. When I read that graphic novel of Born Again, of course I did not read the comics when they came out. I ended up getting the stack, like the book. And when I read that, man, like I just loved the character itself, and I just followed everything after that. I went into looking what's next after this and where the stories continue, where the stories go. Daredevil, issue 15, and they're doing this The Thing variants, as y'all seen before. They do this a lot. They did it with Deadpool when they did the Deadpool and Wolverine movie to promote the movie, I assumed. But now that I'm getting like, and then Doom came out after they announced Robert Downey Jr. to be the next Victor and Doom, right? Now we're doing The Thing. Why? We're not close to getting anything, or are we? That's the thing. That's like, that's what it always makes you think, right? It makes you think of like, what could they be doing for us? Because it could be anything. They could be giving us like action figures for all we know. The reason why they're promoting him, but I ended up getting already 2 The Thing variant covers. If y'all want to see them, I can make a video on TikTok. Just let me know in the comments what y'all like to see from me. But this is Daredevil's issue number 15. Been enjoying this. I got every issue of the Daredevil since, not every issue, but mostly every issue since Daredevil. What is this one? Which Daredevil is this? Let's talk about Funko Pops. Because it had to do with the Funko. There's a Funko Pop that I saw, King Daredevil, and I wasn't sure where did we get the name King Daredevil. And then I was pointed to the right direction. I read the comic book. At the end of the comic book, he becomes King Daredevil. And ever since then, I followed his story. He dies. And then he resurrects somehow, some way. And then we get this. We get this story, and we're on issue 15. And that's how he's become one of my top guys. Next up, man, oh man, have I been loving The Dark Knight of Steel all winter. Issue number 5. I believe they're going to have 6 issues. Yep, 5 of 6. They took a long time to come out with issue number 5. Almost a month. And I hate it because it's not like a TV show. They go on a break and then they come back with a previously. Now there is, and I learned this the hard way. Sometimes, not every comic book, so all comic books should do this 100% sure. Like, they should do this. Comic books should have like a little recap. Even like, you know how movies do with the little recap. Or TV series do that. Because sometimes they go a month or 2 without coming out with a comic. So by then, I was like, I've been reading so many comic books, I don't remember where we left off. And some, once you start reading, you do. But I learned this, that some do it. Some have a little description on the bottom and the first page in letters, a quick little recap of where they're at this moment. And I did not know that. So I went back and I just skimmed through some of them just to see. I was like, oh shoot, I did have a recap for this one. And I was complaining I couldn't remember where I was at. Now, does that happen to you? Let me know in the comments, because it happens to me all the time, especially with those comic books like this one. I do remember where we left off, but just for the sake of not spoiling it for people, I don't want to say where we're at. I could be wrong, but I think I'm like 85% there that I know where we left off. Because then what happens? Like, if this doesn't have, because this one doesn't have a little recap in the front. I gotta go to my stash of comic books and find it. I have them in alphabetical order that I've worked on. But let's move on. Let's not stay on comics for too long, right? Marvel Zombies Dawn of Decay. Fun, interesting issue number 3. It's not bad. Now, is this the cover I'm gonna get? Who knows? There's one of, like, I think it's Spider-Man flying over the skyline, and he's like a zombie. So spoiler there, because I don't recall seeing him as a zombie. But yes. Enjoying it enough that I like. It's a fun read. We're on issue number 3 of, I don't know how many they're gonna be, but we're definitely gonna get into. I do love Marvel Zombies. Speaking of Marvel Zombies, I'll give you a Marvel Zombie right now. Is he out of arm's reach? He sure is out of arm's reach. He's not here. Where are you, Magneto? I have Zombie Mag. Yeah, he's all the way in the bottom. I have Magneto as a zombie. Do I have Daredevil right here too? No, it's not Daredevil, but, well, this is Daredevil. This is Matt Murdock. But yeah. So there's that, right? Issue number 3. We're gonna go with the Sentinels now. I haven't been reading comic books like that. So when I saw that we're getting Sentinels, where issue number 1 was started off slow, but it was a great read, like seeing it from the perspective of the Sentinels, because Sentinels, we all know the Sentinels are like Sentinels. Oh, the other Sentinel. I'll keep looking back because I'm looking for my collectibles to just grab and show off. But we know them as like machines, right? But like in this thing, it's like they're soldiers that train to be Sentinels and hunt down and take out the X-Men. We get a little bit of that. We get Sentinels with their names, and I mean, it was Operation Shaw. The Sentinels have their own order. Enter an enemy nation. So it's like an infantry, like it's like an army, like a branch in the military, which is pretty dope concept. I love it. I don't know if they've done it before, Marvel, but Sentinels issue number 2. There we go. Next up, Storm. This is another one that I've been waiting for. I enjoyed, and it says 2-in-1 variant. So again, they're promoting the thing, but it looks like, this is a variant 2-in-1 cover. So I'm assuming it's these two, Werewolf and the Thing, and they're like, is he draining his power of some sort? But anyways, I enjoyed Storm's story. I'm not that big of a Storm fan, so for me to be saying that I enjoyed issue number 1 and I'm excited for issue number 2, I feel like that says something, at least from the people that know me, the people, my fans, my friends, fans, whatever y'all want to be. And both. My fans are my friends, my stans. Y'all know. Y'all know me. Y'all know me what I like. If I hype it, I don't just hype things just to hype them. I am big on that. I feel like I do a pretty good job of not hyping something up if it doesn't need to be hyped. There's times that we hype up something so much for so many months, then it drops in theaters, and then you're like, what the heck was this? That's not me. Like, I'll watch something before I hype it up. And then I'll be honest. Look, it's a one-time watch worth, yes. Is it a one, like, do I see myself going back and watching this movie again and again and again and again and again? Yes. I'll be honest. Even if it's something I expected it to be great and it wasn't, and it disappointed me because I'm my biggest critic. Anyways, moving on. Yes, 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 yes. We are getting finally. There's been talk about it. They've shown us posters about how this comic book cover is gonna look, and we're getting a Naruto Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with Naruto. And man, oh man, if this is not the right time to to talk, to talk comics. Let's open this up on the big screen. Can we open this up on the big screen? Like, that's the best I can do right now. Let's zoom in because we're switching the topic to Funko Pops. Funko Pops, baby. Like, bro, bro. Give me a Mikey, a Hidden Leaf Village. Like, look at these guys are looking clean as heck. I got Naruto Funko Pops, but just can we Funko? Come on, can we please? Can we please work? Like we got Masters of the Universe mashup, right? We got that. We got the comic books. As the comic books are about to drop, we got the Funko Pops. So I am praying and hoping that this is happening. As I'm speaking this language, this is happening. Like, seriously. Start me off with Mikey because you didn't start me off with Mikey in the Masters of the Universe matchup. We got Shredder and we got Leo. Let's get Mikey and Naruto, or let's get Mikey and Raphael. But let's get something. Let's get something now. Back to reality. Dun, dun, dun. All right, back to the comics. Back to the comics. Let's go. Spider-Man. Now, I've been loving the Ultimate Universe, period. The Ultimate Universe, my mastermind came into this universe and removed the heroes. And like, for example, for Spider-Man, he doesn't become Spider-Man until Tony Stark from a different universe comes to him and lets him know what he was meant to become. And that's why you feel like you were meant to be something else and something's missing. He doesn't become Spider-Man until he is a grown ass adult with a family. He got kids. Which that's what caught my eye in the beginning, and I've been enjoying this ever since. Now, am I getting this cover? No, I am not. I am not paying $24 for the cover, unless it's a foil cover and it's really dope. But I am reading this, and we are what, issue number 11. Like, there's stuff coming for the Ultimate Universe comics, where I feel my prediction is they are going to mash up a bunch of these stories. So I've been reading up on everything that I'm falling behind. Like, I fell behind on the Ultimate Spider-Man, Unlimited, Ultimate X-Men. I'm behind on the Ultimate, the Ultimates. I believe that's what they're called, Ultimates, and I say Black Panther. Black Panther. Those are the ones I'm behind on, and I need to catch up just in case that may be the case, because we did get in the back of one of the comic books towards the end, they were promoting, and end of December, we're getting this new series, issue number 1, and it looks like it's like the Avengers coming together, because these are all stories about just a specific character. You know how the Avengers end up coming together. Next, last but not least, Venom Wars. We're sticking with Venom Wars. So I know there's, like, again, these are the ones that I'm most excited about. There's more that I'm definitely gonna get, but these are the ones I'm most excited about. Venom War is a series that I've been reading. This is another tie-in to it. We don't get issue number 5, the last issue, until the end of November, which will be next week, I believe. Yeah, we still got one more week before the last Wednesday of November, and that's where we're gonna be getting. That's where we're gonna be getting Venom Wars. But tomorrow we are getting, or to later today, I should say, because you're watching this on Wednesday, we are getting. It's Jeff. It will be my first Jeff comic book. Yes, folks, Jeff is a character. Where did we first see him that people were like, who's Jeff? Right? Oh, I think a lot of people didn't see him in when we got the Funko Pops with Jeff and Deadpool. People were like, who's Jeff? They just grab a random shark. There was people that actually asked me that question, who was Jeff? That was a cute Funko Pop. Who's Jeff? Is he Deadpool's mascot? No, it was just a Deadpool. That's how just they did the Funko Pop. Deadpool and Jeff eating Deadpool. Pretty awesome. But there you have it. That's just a little bit of what I am going to be aiming for. These are the must. Now the other ones, if I miss them, I miss them for the day and get them the next day. But these are the main focuses on that. And with that being said, that ends our segment on the comic book. So this is chapter 1. No, this will be chapter 2 because the intro is considered a chapter. So this is chapter 2. New comic book Wednesday. Let's freaking go. Now let's move on. I don't know why that song stuck in my head, but that's it. That's it there on the comic books. Now you tell me if you're a reader. What's I need to know what's the reason for you being here, right? What's the reason for you wanting to be here aside from supporting your boy, which I'm greatly, very grateful for. I wouldn't be here without y'all. I feel like this allows me to just be me, do me. I like to talk. I like to chat with y'all. I like to get to know y'all. So if there's any suggestions of what you would want me to do, what more topics you would like to talk about, this is the time. This is absolutely the time to do so, and it's just great. If you just share your feedback with me, because I want to make this as good as possible, as best as I can make it for you guys to experience. And again, you can skim through it. You have chapters to go through and you don't have to watch the whole thing, which in about a minute or so we'll be moving on to the scores, right? It's Tuesday night. All the games from week 11 are gone. And again, sports talk is not just going to be football, but because there was an international break in sports, in soccer, I did not get to catch up on those soccer games. And again, I keep calling it soccer for you guys, but it's football. It's football. Football it is. So let's move on. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm just gonna show y'all what's next. Let's talk about the scores. Welcome to the segment where we talk about the scores. Now, I'm not gonna talk about every game because I do not care about every game. Obviously, everyone cares about their team mainly, and of course, they pay close attention to their fantasy teams. Now, let's start with that. Because guess what? I did the dumbest move I could have done. You see the score right here? Do y'all see the score right here? 52 to 6. I had Jared Goff as my starter for the last 6 weeks. But because last week, I think it was, or the week before, no, it was last week, I had Purdy as a backup, gave me one more point than him. One more. It wasn't that big of a difference. It was 1 point. I subbed them out. I switched them. I lost my. You want to know how much I lost my fantasy football game by? 8 points. 8 freaking points. Y'all want to know how many points my bench got? Just golf alone got 27, 26, 27 points. That was more than enough. Shoot, I left another player who got 10 points. Him being in there, I would have won by 1 point. I would have won by 1 point. So that's why I'm focusing on this game. I follow this game. Can we beat them? Yes, we can. Pound for pound, yes, we can. Every other game we can skip. The Steelers and Ravens, that was a boring game. But man, do the Ravens have an Achilles heel. But I think it's only against the Steelers and the Chiefs. It's like Lamar doesn't show up. And I don't care how many win 3-4 MVPs in a row. You think he's happy? I doubt it. I'm sure he will trade an MVP trophy for a Super Bowl or a Lombardi trophy any day. Vikings wanted them to lose just because they have the same record as us. Put us in second in the conference. You gotta hope for that. I'm not even gonna talk about the Jets. They don't deserve to be talked about. Seahawks, I wanted them to beat the Niners just because of all the. But then again, it's another thing. Purdy was my starter, and he did horrible against them. He only got like 8 points. Awesome. Bills Chiefs. Big game for the Bills. Not important because at the end of the day, the Chiefs always beat them in the playoffs. But Josh Allen is a monster. Like, that man is business. Like, that man is built different. And he's a quarterback. Like, remember that play against the 49ers of the Chiefs where Mahomes trucked the defender? Oh my goodness, were they hyping that up? Look, Mahomes is as great as he is. He is not trucking anybody. Watch that carefully. Only people that are gonna disagree with me are Chiefs fans, which there's not that many. The many that are jumped the bandwagon when they started winning. The player was jumping the corner from the 49ers. And I'm not defending the 49ers because I don't like the 49ers. They're the red Cowboys, basically. He was jumping over a linebacker to get to Mahomes, and he was just planting his left foot when Mahomes makes contact. It looks worse than what it was. Why am I bringing that up? Because the game-winning run by Josh Allen, running the way he ran, that safety coming in thinking, this is a wall. You're about to get stopped in your tracks. Hit him, made him turn, and he tried to pull him. And Josh Allen says, "You're coming with me to the end zone." And pulled him with him. Not grabbed him. He just, as the safety's holding onto him or the corner, he just says, "You know what? I'm just gonna do this." Pull them in with the end zone. Now, towards the end, right as an entering, you see an offensive player come and hit and help Allen get in, but he didn't need that help. He didn't. Josh Allen is different. Now, speaking of different, man, the Bengals. What are y'all doing? I'm a fan of Macaulay Culkin. I mean, Burrow. That's my guy. I wanted them to win the Super Bowl when they lost it against the Rams. I was rooting for them. I like them. My favorite position in sports is the facilitator of the rock. In football, it's mostly the midfielder. In American football, it's the quarterback. In basketball, it's the point guard. I don't have a favorite position in baseball. Maybe the outfielders, just because of some amazing catches they make. Hockey, I don't really have a favorite position. I just like it when these dudes get in the fights. Cowboys, it's hard to make fun of them. when they're this bad. It's more sad than fun. I used to enjoy. I used to love when the Cowboys were decent enough to make it to the playoffs. Gave their fan base a new hope. Help me, Cowboys. You're our only hope. What am I quoting? What am I quoting? And then they just don't show up. And they just destroy the joy of all these Cowboy fans. Because it's not really the Cowboys franchise that's people hate on. It's mostly the fan base. The bandwagon fan base, but also the fan base that says we're going to the Super Bowl after week one. They'll have an amazing win week one, and we're going to the Super Bowl. I used to get that from Washington fans before they became the Commanders, and they were the Redskins. But you get that more from Cowboys fans. I think though we're probably the most obnoxious, which I love. I don't give a fudge. We're the most realistic. If we suck, we suck, and we let our team know. I don't think no other team in our division does that with their family. Like you see Daniel Jones sucking it up every year, and you don't hear the crowd chanting. At least I haven't heard because I don't watch their games. But when I watch their games, I don't hear the crowd chanting to bench him, to get rid of him. We want DeVito. We want like nothing. I've heard it in Philly when Wentz was a quarterback and he was sucking it up. Like they let you know, and that's why Wentz couldn't hang in. That's why Wentz couldn't hang. But we're not gonna keep going. We're not gonna drag it. It's just the scores. So yeah, I'm gonna share at the end. So right now I haven't decided. It might be in between, but the scores might be shared in between. But this time around, it's gonna be chapter 3. So there's gonna be 3 chapters in this one, and there we go. That is it for today. We talked scores. We talked comic books, and we talked about a little bit about ourselves. I want to make it as chill as possible. And again, towards the end of the year, I'm thinking about January, having my first guest, on the cast. We're thinking that the Sith Lounge, the Sith Sangers Lounge, or the Nerd Herd. Like it's so many names. Like I'm gonna put it to vote at one point. I think because I very undecisive, and if I don't pick right now, I'm not gonna pick at all, and I don't want that to happen. So without further ado, thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all coming through. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. Hope I didn't bore y'all with the sports. Again, that's why I said I want to pick topics. I want to have chapters. That way you don't, if it's not relevant to you, you don't have to watch it. Now, if you want to watch it, put it in the background. Listen to me while you clean and do whatever you need to do. By all means, please do so. I'd love that. But you don't have to, because there'll be chapters. And today we're putting those chapters to the test. Hopefully, I learned enough that I know what I'm doing to put the chapters together. But with that being said, I'll catch y'all on that flippity flip. Peace. Deuces.